Good day, students, and welcome to our lesson. Today, we will be learning tectonic processes, theories, and plate boundaries. And the objectives of today's discussion are the following. First is to enumerate and describe the different plate boundaries formed due to the tectonic plate movements. The second, at the end of the lesson, you are expected to explain how the movements of plates lead to the formation of folds and faults. And lastly, you are all expected to describe how layers of rocks are formed, specifically the stratified rocks. Tectonics is the study of the processes that deform Earth's crust. How and what causes these deformations? To learn about this, discover the theories about plate tectonics. Early in the 20th century, most geologists believed that the geographic positions of the ocean basins and continents were fixed. However, data proved that continents move as years go by. A revolutionary explanation that had changed how we view the Earth was proposed by Alfred Wegener. It is called the Continental Drift Theory. This theory is the hypothesis that the Earth's continents have moved over geologic time relative to each other, thus appearing to have drifted across the ocean bed. Wegener suggested that the continents were all originally part of a huge landmass called Pangaea. Pangaea is the supercontinent that was surrounded by a single ocean called Pantalessa. A few 100 million years ago, Pangaea was supposed to have begun to break up, and the continents slowly drifted to their present locations. Wegener said that all the continents are moving apart. He noticed that the Africa and South America fit together almost like pieces in a giant jigsaw puzzle. He thought that all the continents might fit together this way. To support his theory, Wegener and his colleagues gathered evidences. They found out that deposits of glacial debris and fossil remains of plant species in Argentina, Brazil, South Africa, Antarctica, India, and Australia follow each other in the same succession. Another discovery were the bones of a reptile, which believed to have lived for 200 million years ago in Antarctica, were found in Africa and South America, and its teeth in Antarctica. Because of this, the idea of land bridge was formulated as well. However, the idea of Alfred Wegener was not widely accepted by many immediately. One of the major objections to the continental drift theory is inability to provide a mechanism that would explain the movement of the continents across the globe. Studies on the ocean and earthquakes have provided new insights in the behavior of the lithosphere. These have led to the development of the plate tectonic theory, which proposes that the lithosphere consists of seven large numerous smaller segments called plates which are moving relative to each other. This theory states that the constant motion of the plates is driven by convection currents in the mantle. Plates move slowly in different directions, and these movements cause different geologic events, like earthquake, volcanic eruption, birth of a new volcano, and many others. Since we are all now aware that the tectonic plates are moving, the next question in line is, what makes the plates move? The plates are moving due to convection currents. Convection currents in the mantle move the plates as the core hits the slowly flowing asthenosphere. A plate boundary is a fracture separating one plate from another. All the major interactions among individual plates occur along their boundaries. There are three distinct types of boundaries based on the type of movement. We have convergent boundary, divergent boundary, and transform fault boundary. The convergent boundary occurs when two plates move toward each other. Crust is destroyed when two plates converge. The heavier plate dives or subducts beneath the more buoyant plate. Convergent boundaries are also called subduction zones. So these are the subduction zones. There are three types of convergence. The first one is the oceanic continental convergence. These forms trenches, destructive earthquakes, and rapid uplift of mountain ranges, as well as the building of volcanic arc. The second one is the oceanic convergence. These also forms trenches like Marianas Trench and volcanic arc. And the last one is continental convergence. These forms mountain range like the Himalayan range. The second plate boundary is divergent boundary. Divergent boundary occurs when two plates move away. Most divergent boundaries occur along the crest of oceanic ridges. When the plates move apart, there is upwelling of magma from the hot mantle below. As the magma cools, new seafloor is created, called seafloor spreading. The spreading rate is too slow considering that human time is rapid enough to have created the Earth's ocean basin. The last plate boundary is the transform fault boundary. This occurs when plates slide horizontally past one another. Most transform faults occur within the ocean basin, but there are a few that can be found in continental plates. Transform faults commonly affect the active spreading ridges, producing zigzag plate margins. They are generally defined by shallow earthquakes. The San Andreas Fault is one of the few transform faults found on land. Thank you so much for listening and have a great day.